Guess what time it is? That's right. It's time for another episode of the Positively Insane podcast. My name is Kevin. I will be your host and spirit guide for the foreseeable future. I just want to thank you from the very bottom of my heart for tuning in. It means the absolute world to me. And let's get to it. I know I promised a mindset episode. I'm still very much working on that, but it's not done yet. And I realized after listening to last week's episode about setting goals that there was a lot more to talk about. I was just getting to the meat of the topic, and I wanted to go deeper down that rabbit hole and specifically talk about building momentum and never giving up. These are two things that they're just tippy top. They're at the very top of the list for me. Just traits that are hugely important to me. The traits that I didn't have when I was younger, that I have developed over the years, and just momentum in general. Building momentum, maintaining momentum is huge, and not just with setting goals, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. Momentum in life in general is massive. But primarily, the biggest thing that I want to talk about was never giving up, or removing that as an option. Removing failure as an option. Now, failure isn't a bad thing. The only true failure is when you give up. That is the only true failure. Otherwise, failure, that's just an opportunity to learn something. You've only failed if you haven't learned a lesson, if you haven't learned the lesson that came from the failure. So again, the only true failure in life is when you give up. That's it. So when you take giving up off the table and it's no longer an option, what's left? Now see, I fucking love talking about this. I love talking about this. Other people who like to make excuses in their lives, they don't like this. They don't like this at all. It really fucking grinds their gears, and it ruffles their feathers. But for me, and before I go too much further, I want to say I was one of those people. I was one of the biggest excuse makers on the fucking planet, and I still find myself trying to make excuses. It's a bad habit that keeps coming up. You know, when hard things happen, or when things unfun things come up where I have to work harder or dig deeper or whatever, I want to make an excuse so I don't have to do it, don't have to make the effort or whatever. I don't have to take accountability or responsibility, all that shit. Excuse making is the easy way. It is the path of least resistance. When you make excuses, it's not your fault, right? It's somebody else's or something else's. The fault is elsewhere. So that's why, it's one of the reasons why I love talking about this so much, because there's a part of me that wishes I could go back in time and talk to my younger, lazier self. Just that entitled waste of meat, you know, and that's what I was for a long time. I just wish I could go back in time and have this conversation with him, because I can already tell just how pissed off it would make him. It would just make him so mad. He would get so upset about it. So here we go. When you take giving up off the table, you remove that as an option, the only other option that's left is success. That's it. So, and it's really that easy. As soon as you remove failure, and again, we're talking about giving up, but as soon as you take that off the table and throw it away, fucking throw it in a garbage can, down the garbage disposal, preferably somewhere where it's obliterated forever. It's gone. You can't get it back. You can't go into the garbage can and grab it and put it back on the table. No. We're fucking lighting it on fire. We're lighting it on fire, guys. It's gone. Giving up is gone. All that is left is success. Now suddenly, everything is achievable. Is it just me that gets excited by this? I've literally got goosebumps right now, okay? I literally have goosebumps, because that is how simple it is at the molecular level. Now, obviously, when you zoom out to the macro, the big picture, right now we're talking about the micro, the small picture. You zoom out to the macro, the big picture, there is a lot of fucking work. To get from here to success. But But the magic is, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, as long as you get back up. Doesn't matter how many times you fail, because failure is just a learning opportunity. Doesn't matter how many times you don't succeed, as long as you learn, as long as you get up, as long as you move forward, as long as you grow, and as long as you keep trying, you will fucking succeed. It's just a matter of time. It's you can't fail because failure is not an option. It's not even on the fucking table. It doesn't even exist. Giving up doesn't even exist. You could get hit by a bus. You could fall from a fucking cliff. You could get COVID 17 times in a row. As long as you are alive, you will succeed, because giving up fucking isn't an option. It's gone. We lit it on fire, right? And as soon as you start thinking like that every single day, giving up is not an option. It does not fucking exist. Then all of a sudden you stop wanting to give up. You stop thinking about giving up. And it's a lot of us. We use the other people in our lives to keep us from giving up. We use our friends, our family, our children. I can't give up because of my kids. That's a wonderful thing to keep you going if that's what you need. But when giving up isn't even an option at all, it's just gone. It's not there. I won't even say it's a figment of your imagination, because once you've destroyed it, you've erased it from existence, and so your mind can't even think of it. You can't even imagine giving up because it's been erased from existence. Giving up doesn't exist. Once you get to that level, you don't need your children or your friends or your family to keep you from giving up, because it doesn't exist. All that is left is getting up, moving forward, learning, getting up, moving forward, learning, getting up, moving forward, learning, and just always moving forward. And as soon as you hit a brick wall, obviously that did not work. So we go to one of my favorite quotes of all time from Albert Einstein. And this is his definition of insanity. If you were to Google it, it's not the clinical definition. Albert Einstein's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So we don't want to be insane in the eyes of Albert Einstein, right? So when we hit a brick wall and something doesn't work, we obviously don't keep trying the same thing. That did not work. One of my other favorite quotes is by Thomas Edison, and he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work." He tried 10,000 different things, and it didn't work until he eventually found a thing that did work. And that's all it is. Thomas Edison, in my opinion, wasn't a genius. He was just a smart, clever guy that never gave up. He kept doing things until he found things that worked. And then he did 10,000 other things that didn't work until he found a thing that worked. So Thomas Edison, known as like one of the smartest guys in history, honestly, in my opinion, not that smart. Nikola Tesla is a true fucking genius. True fucking genius. Thomas Edison, just in the right place at the right time, and never gave up. And never fucking gave up. And that is why most people know his name and not Nikola Tesla's. Well, because he stole all of Nikola's shit and buried him. But that's a different story. Go watch a documentary or something. The point is, you hit a brick wall. Whatever you were doing didn't work. Try something new. Learn from it. Try something new. And you will get past that fucking brick wall. Trust me. But there will be another one after that. And another one after that. And another one after that. But that's okay. We start to get excited about those brick walls. Why? Because we've built an unbreakable mindset that we will talk about on the mindset episode. But just remember, we've got this mindset. And giving up doesn't exist. So the only option that we have, the only option we give ourselves, is moving forward, facing that brick wall, figuring it out, learning from it, getting over that brick wall and on the next one. And then we start getting excited for each brick wall, because each one is a learning opportunity. And we know it's a learning opportunity. And when we figure out how to get past that brick wall, we get that fucking dopamine hit, right? That dopamine rush and that serotonin rush, and like, I did it. I fucking did it. You didn't think I could. I almost didn't think I could, but I fucking did it. And every brick wall we get past, we have grown. We have gotten smarter. We have fucking gotten more evolved. We're more adaptable. We're learning. We are becoming a better version of ourselves every brick wall that we face, every single fucking one. And the more we face, the more excited we get, because the more powerful we feel, and we start to build that momentum, right? That fucking momentum is so important. That very first brick wall, we had no momentum. It's just nose to a wall. You're not even moving. You're just nose to the wall. That's a hard one. That first brick wall is always a hard one because you got no momentum. And at that point, at that wall, that's where you feel your weakest. You know, you're letting all the doubts get to you. You're letting all the haters get to you. And maybe the people in your very immediate surroundings are telling you, you can't do it. You know, you're not smart enough. You know, you're not clever enough. You're not entertaining enough. Who wants to watch you? You know what I mean? Who wants to see you accomplish your goal? You can't, you won't, it never will happen. That first brick wall sucks. But if you can get past that, and I know you can, we all can, that's the magic. Take the give up off the table. It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. So the people telling you you can't do it are fucking wrong, because not being able to do it doesn't fucking exist. So all that is left is you getting past that brick wall, because you can. Yes, you can. You fucking will. You will do it. And you're going to get on top. You're going to get over it. You're going to get that fucking dopamine kick. And you're going to be like, I fucking did it. I fucking did it. I didn't think I could. And I fucking did it. What can I do when I actually think I can? When I believe in myself? Let's go find that other fucking brick wall. There's another one back here, right? Where is it at? What's this one? What am I going to learn this time? You know? What am I going to learn this time? It's going to be something. It's going to be something, and I'm going to fucking be... I'm going to learn something about myself. I'm going to believe in myself a little bit more. Every fucking brick wall. And every one, we're building a little more momentum. We're getting a little more excited. We're getting a little more like, holy fuck, I might be able to do this, right? I might be able to fucking do this. Fuck you. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what you have to say. Sometimes I don't even care what you have to say unless it is something positive, because I can fucking do this. I just got over these 3 brick walls, and I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think it was possible. Nobody thought it was possible, and I fucking did it. I'm going to get over the next one, too. That's the fucking magic. I'm going to get over it. And then eventually, you got to a fucking point where you turn around and you can see this fucking view, right? This fucking world that you never could see before, because you were down at the bottom facing that very first brick wall. And now you're up here, you get to turn around and you get to see things that the average person doesn't see. You get to see everything you overcame, everything that you learned, everything you accomplished. And you get to build on that. And you get to turn around and realize that it's a never-ending mountain. It never stops. It keeps going. And now for the most part, that would scare people. But for me, I've built a mountain up here years ago, back when I was homeless. And I had to do something. I knew I had to do something. Fucking nose to that first brick wall. Just me and a brick wall. That's where I was at fucking back then. And here, I've climbed so many fucking brick walls. So many. Turn around, I look back, and there's a gorgeous view. And way down there, fucking way out there, so far I can't even see it with my naked eye. That's where I started. That's where I almost gave up. That's where I almost walked into traffic, and I was like, not today, motherfucker. My story doesn't end here. Not today. I don't give up today. Why? Because I got a mountain to climb. And when I fucking get there, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to inspire. I'm going to fucking inspire everybody else around me. All the other people that are watching me. I'm going to fucking look at them and say, you can do it too. Don't fucking give up. Not today, motherfucker. You get up and you fucking face down that wall and you build that momentum. And remember, giving up is not an option. It doesn't even exist. You've erased it from existence. It's not up here. It's not on the table. You can't even say it out loud. Because it's not there. It doesn't exist in the databanks. It doesn't exist in the universe. Giving up for you is not an option. It's not an option. So climb that fucking wall, right? Right? Fucking climb that wall. Yes, do it. Dude, I've got fucking goosebumps all over. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. This is what I do. Like, when I go on my walks, I listen to music and I think about this stuff. I used to be so weak, so fucking mentally weak, and I didn't have the internal strength that I have now. I didn't have the fortitude that I have now. I didn't have the experience that I have now. I didn't have the knowledge that I have now, the knowledge that I know. No matter what life throws at me, no matter how hard it is, I have the tools. I have the fucking armor. I've got the goddamn sword to get through it. I've got the weapons. I know it. I've built my fucking self up. I have forged that fucking armor. I have forged those weapons with my bare goddamn hands. And I have created an unbreakable mindset. And it gets stronger every goddamn day. Sometimes I get weak. I'm not going to lie, man. I still struggle with depression sometimes, where I'll go through a depressive episode. Maybe I do something that lets myself down, and I get real disappointed in myself. And I'm not going to lie, I beat myself up a lot. Not so much on a regular basis anymore, because I'm working very hard not to beat myself up. We don't achieve anything when we beat ourselves up, when we're hard on ourselves. All we do is shame ourselves, we guilt trip ourselves, and we feel bad about ourselves. And it is so hard to be productive, to stay positive, to get things done, to encourage and inspire those around you when you just feel like a whipped dog all the time. I mean, because that's what you are, and you're doing it to yourself. And if you are that type of person, if you are the kind of person who is always that hard on yourself, you are just so critical on yourself, and you never give yourself a break, never. Let me talk to you. Let me get close to you. Come on. Let me get up here and let me say, I understand, right? I do the same thing all the time. All the time. You don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Neither of us do. Like, we're great people. We really are. You are fucking amazing. You get up every day and you face the things that you face every day. And some days are harder than others, right? But you still do it. You know? You still do it. And the people around you, the people that you love, the people you care about, like, you would do anything for them. Anything. Go out of your way to fucking move mountains for them, right? And I see that. They might not always see it, but I do. And I respect it, and I appreciate it. And you should too. You need to give yourself a break. You've done some fucking things that other people couldn't even imagine. You've survived things other people couldn't even imagine. That takes a massive amount of internal strength to have gone through what you have gone through. And it doesn't even matter what that is. For some of us, it's way worse than others, right? But for each of us, it's huge. It's huge. Whether it's huge to everybody else or not, it's huge to us because it's our life. It's the things that we have gone through, the hardships we have endured. Maybe other people have gone through worse, you know? Or maybe they haven't. Maybe by comparison, we've got it bad. But at the end of the day, it could be worse for each and every single one of us. And I guarantee you, if you take a look at your life and look around, no matter how bad it is, no matter how fucked up it is, there's something to be grateful for. Even if it's this podcast right now, there's something to be grateful for. You found this. You found this moment. And you're going to have another one. You're going to create another one. You're going to build an unbreakable mindset. One step at a time. And I'm going to fucking be there with you. Like, I ain't going anywhere. Come back next week. We're going to build that mindset. But for right now, stop being so hard on yourself. Look at your goals. Write them down. If you haven't, we talked about that. Write them down. Come on. Look at your goals. Doesn't matter which one. Pick something. Pick it. Pick the smallest one if you have to. We're going to build some momentum. And we're going to start small. Get that goal. Let's get it done. Okay? Let's get it done. You have until next week. One goal. Do it. And then I want you to tell me what it was. And I want you to tell me how good it felt to do it. And then we'll talk about the next one next week. Let's get it done. All right. That's enough of that. So, we've talked about momentum. We've talked about removing failure as an option. Never giving up. And now, I'm not going to lie, man. I got a little adrenaline there. It's almost like I was sitting there hyping you up, like, for real. Like, I felt that. I don't know if you felt that, but I felt that. Yeah, like, I'm all tingly and shit. That's awesome. Oh, fuck, this is awesome. I hope that happens to a lot of people. Let's do this podcast, guys. I can't even fucking stop smiling. That was fucking fun. We fucking got this. We fucking got this, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Giving up doesn't exist. We're gonna fucking do it. You and me, we're gonna fucking do it. And it doesn't matter what anybody around us thinks. We're gonna lock it in. We're gonna lock it in because this is about us. This is about fucking changing our lives. Honestly, that's what this podcast is about. I need some water. I'm getting thirsty. If you go to YouTube, let me see. I wrote this description. I don't even have it pulled up, but let me get it up here. I wrote this description for my YouTube channel like years ago. I started this podcast fucking like 4 years ago. I don't know. It was like 2016, 2017. Started on my phone. The very beginning episodes, and you can find those on the channel. They're here. They're embarrassing. I don't go back. I should go back and listen to them, but they cringe. It's cringy to me. Anyway, but when I go back to my channel and I look at the description for it, let's get positively. Jesus, it popped up last time. With this podcast, I try to help motivate people to chase their dreams, achieve their goals, live positively, and laugh as often as possible. I wrote that 4 years ago. And it has never been more truer than it is right now. Never. And I just fucking, like, when I saw that, and I saw that earlier today, I saw that, and it's as if I had just written it. Joined December 2nd, 2016. That's when I started. Wow. And I took a long time off. I apologize. But I needed it to get to where I am right now. But yeah, I wrote that years ago. With this podcast, I try to help motivate people to chase their dreams, achieve their goals, live positively, and laugh as often as possible. You go, man. You fucking go. You do exactly just that. Exactly just that. Because why? And I know I've talked about this before in the past. If you've listened to everything so far, you've heard it. But podcasts, they were one of three things that really got me through the darkest time of my life. For me, which was the darkest time of my life. And it was podcast, music, and audiobooks. And those three things are still massive to me right now. And podcasting was my way of giving back to just, I felt grateful that it was there, that podcast were there to help get me through that time. And I wanted to give back by making a podcast and helping other people in similar situations. So that's what this is about. And I just love that, man. I just love that. And again, it has never, my focus has never changed. It's always just gotten more narrow as far as what it is that I want to talk about. And it really specifically is just that. I want to help motivate people to chase their dreams, achieve their goals, live positively, and laugh as often as possible. Which leads me into fucking 10 habits of successful people. Now, this video, I stumbled on this video earlier today, and I'm not going to lie. I teared up. Like, I cried in a good way while I was listening to it and as I was taking these notes. Because one of my biggest goal, even more than being a millionaire within 5 years, my biggest goal is just success, to be successful. And success can mean anything to anyone. It might mean having $1 million, or it might mean being happy and content and tranquil. Or it might be any number of other things, having a successful business, maybe being a successful parent, just there are any number of ways to define what it is to be successful. But here are 10 habits that successful people have. And it doesn't matter what it is that they're successful in, it is the habit that is important. And as I was listening and writing these down, I was crying because it just really reaffirmed everything that I've been trying to do over the years, that to improve myself, to get better, to grow as a human being, to work on my depression and anxiety and overcome the shit that's been holding me back, specifically myself, and my social anxiety, all of that shit, things that have been holding me back that I've been trying to work on. And these fucking 10 things right here, I've tried to make them, not try. I'm going to stop using the word try. I noticed I said that a lot in the last podcast. And one thing that I love about the job I work at, the store I work at, we don't use weak words. We don't try anything, we do. So I'm going to stop using the word try. These are things that I have really incorporated into my core values. These 10 habits of successful people that I didn't even know this list existed. I just knew that these things were super important and successful people did them. And so I wanted to make them a part of who I was. And I honestly believe that if you just live by these philosophies, by these principles, success just follows you, no matter what it is you're doing. No matter what it is you're doing, if you do these things, you will be successful in my mind and in the minds of many other people. I promise you, I am going to become a successful person. Right now, I'm sitting at, like 50-some episodes total. I got like 50-some subscribers total. My views are under 10 per episode. And that doesn't bother me at all, because I know a year from now, I'm going to be much further. 2 years from now, I'm going to be even further. 3 years from now, I know for a fact I will have a successful podcast. I will have a much larger number of viewers. I will be at the mark where I can monetize, have a minimum of 1,000 subs. 3 years from now, a year from now, minimum of 1,000 subs. Trust me. I that is how much I believe in myself. That is not from a place of arrogance or cockiness. It is because of these things. I believe in them so much. These people who follow these rules, these principles, each one of them has been successful at anything they have chosen to do. And it's a map to success. And I know for a fact that if you just stick to it, because every other person who has just stuck to it has succeeded, that I will as well. And having that confidence is powerful. And that's what it is. It's confidence. It's not ego. It's not arrogance. It's not cockiness. It's confidence. I know for a fucking fact that if I follow this, I will be successful. And I'm going to fall, and I'm going to fail, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to adapt, and I'm going to improve, and I'm going to fucking succeed, because that is the only option that exists. It's the only fucking option that exists, and I will manifest this shit. Watch me. Come back a year from now. I don't care if you watch every episode. Come back a year from now. See where I'm at. I promise you, I will have at least 1,000 subs. And if that doesn't impress you, come back 2 years from now. See where I'm at. I promise you, I'm going to be further every fucking year it's just going to keep going. There's no until. There's no top of the mountain here. I just keep going to see where I can go. Like, that's what it is. So these 10 habits of successful people, I apologize. I should have been to this a long time ago. Number 1, my favorite, not because it's the bestest, but because we just talked about it and we're talking about it right now. Number 1 is they set goals. They set goals, right? As soon as I heard that, I was like, yeah, we just talked about that. Number 2, they take responsibility for their life. This is a big one, right? This is a big one, because when you take responsibility for your life, you take control of your life. And what taking responsibility for your life means is when something bad happens, or when you fail at something, or when you fuck up, or when anything at all happens that was within your control and you didn't do something about it, or whatever, like, it's not somebody's fault. It's not somebody else's fault. When you fuck up, you take accountability. Accountability is huge. That's another one of the things that I remember I talked about, the 5 core values that the company I work for has. Accountability is one of them. And over the last 4 years, I've really gone over what that means to me. And accountability means always doing the right thing, even when nobody's looking, right? So you got to take accountability for your actions. You got to take accountability for the things you say and the things you do. And when the consequences of those actions come back, accountability means you accept them. You accept them. You take it on the fucking chin. That's what accountability means. And when you become accountable for your actions, it changes your life in a big way. You level up, you mature. That people around you will notice a shift in consciousness with you. They will say, that motherfucker's going up a little bit. But anyway, number 3, and I love this because this is already going to be, it's on my list of podcast topics. They are self-disciplined. You know, when I was younger, and even to this day, I still struggle with self-discipline is not something that I think you completely master at any point in your life. I think you're always working on your self-discipline, even at the top levels. There has to be something that those people are working on, that they're resisting, you know, and crafting and honing their self-discipline. And this is something that I have known that I lacked a lot for a long time. And so I started listening to audiobooks specifically about self-discipline about 3 years ago. And I think that's one of the things that really sparked this self-improvement journey that I've been on, or at least really added fuel to it. And I've got some books that I will recommend on the self-discipline episode in particular, but that's a big one. So there, self-discipline. Number 4, and I love this one. I love it because it's like, it just fucking really describes me. I don't know. I just fucking love it. It makes me smile. They are obsessed with self-development and continue learning. And I'm always fucking talking about it, right? I made a podcast on it. I just fucking love it. Number 5, again, fits within this whole realm of shit that I've been talking about. They read a lot. You know, they're constantly reading. And they're not, when I say that, you know, they're not reading fiction. They're not listening to Stephen King. As much as I love Stephen King, they're not reading Stephen King books. I promise you, the super efficient, the super fucking performers, the motherfuckers who are at the top performing higher than anyone else, they're not reading fiction. They're not. They're learning. That is the whole reason they are reading, because they're learning. So it's continued learning there. And it's as much as possible. And if physical content or physical books isn't your thing, audiobooks, that's what does it for me. I love audiobooks, not just because I don't have to read and I can multitask. I love them because I can get more of them in a week because I can multitask. When I was reading books, it was typically just when I was in the bathroom where I would read, and that's all I would do. And that's all the time I would read, because the rest of my life I wouldn't make time and I would watch TV or whatever. Anyway, so audiobooks allow me to multitask. I can do that at any point, when I'm walking, when I'm cleaning, when I'm driving, when I'm at work sometimes, if there's nobody in the store and it's literally I'm just cleaning the store or some shit. You know, I love audiobooks because I can multitask. I can learn while I'm doing other things that would otherwise, in my opinion, just be kind of a waste of time, or at least an inefficient use of my time. So I love that. The next one, they manage their time well. And that is something I fucking struggle with. It's something I struggle with big time, but I love this because it is something that I am very self-aware of and have been working on, trying very hard. I use the word trying. I have been working very hard on time management and scheduling and not beating myself up if I don't get what I wanted done. I've got to-do lists every day, and I allow myself to not get them all done as long as I get the most important thing on that list done. Whatever that is, the most important thing to me that needs to be, whether it's getting an oil change, got that done the other day, had been putting that off for a little while, just because got that fucking done. Sign up for the gym membership, got that fucking done. At the very least, I get the most important thing on the fucking list done. And I don't beat myself up if I don't get any of the other stuff done. And so what that means is every day I feel good about getting a goal accomplished, and then I'm more likely to get more goals accomplished the next day because it feels good to cross that fucking thing off the list. And if you don't do that, you really need to start doing it, because the actual feeling of physically crossing that off the list, it does something. It releases a chemical in the brain. It's a little dopamine hit. You get a little serotonin hit. And I'm going to have an episode specifically about habits and how to form habits and break habits, and how to like really train yourself with dopamine hits and serotonin. Like, there's a lot that goes into what makes a habit, and there's a lot that goes into what you are. Like, your habits are who you are. Anyway, that will be a totally different episode. So they manage their time well. 7, they take risks. A leap of faith is often required to be successful. Like, seriously, you got to take a risk sometimes. I want to be a successful podcaster, and at a certain point, I'm going to have to quit my day job and go full time, and that's going to be a big leap of faith. Number 8, they never give up. They never give up. They keep going even when they suffer failures and setbacks. Giving up is the only true failure. Number 9, they find a way to win, period. Give them a problem and they will find a solution. And I can tell you, man, I love fucking solving problems. Number 10, they do what they love. What am I trying to fucking do? What am I fucking trying to do, right? Like, I'm sorry if I'm being too excited about this, but I just love the fucking fact that the things that I am finding, the things that I'm learning, really reinforce everything that I've been doing. It's like, you're gonna be successful, I'm fucking telling you, right? And if you do these things too, you're gonna be successful. It's not like I'm fucking some genius. No, this is a roadmap, and I've just committed myself to it. 10. So that's it. That's the 10 things, or 10 habits of successful people. Now, I want to throw an 11th one on there, and I keep hitting the fucking desk. I apologize. I want to throw an 11th one on there. And basically that is, once they get to the top, they turn around and they fucking help bring people up. I want to teach other people how to be successful. And if you look around, like, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been following a lot of people. I've been following a lot of successful people. You know, my news feed has gone away from, like, reels from fucking comedy skits and shit like that, or meme pages and shit. No, my newsfeed has now become just a funnel of successful people talking about what made them successful and how you can be successful. So that's what I ingest when I'm scrolling Facebook and looking at, my friends' posts. But in between those, it's successful people talking about success, and giving a roadmap and books to read and things to do and fucking all that shit. And my favorite fucking people among those, and it's the vast majority of them, what they have done is turned around and they're trying to teach other people. And the only difference between unsuccessful people and the successful people are the ones who pay attention and fucking really listen and do the things. And do the fucking things. So that's 11 habits, in my opinion, of successful people. And then below this, I've got 19 principles to live by in order to be successful. And I'm going to try to go through this in a relatively quick fashion. Got about 20 minutes. We're cruising right along here. So number 1, you can achieve anything if you are willing to work for it. So at the end of the day, you've taken giving up off the table. As long as you're willing to do the work and commit yourself to it, you can accomplish anything. And that is the magic of this. That is the magic of this roadmap. It can be applied to anything in your life. Anything. You want to be a successful podcaster? Well, I've got a roadmap for that. You take that roadmap and you can apply it towards being a musician or being the best salesperson you can be. All of these things apply to anything you want. Number 2, be grateful. There's always something to be grateful for. Now, this is huge. This is huge because, like I said a million times, I struggle with depression. So one of the biggest things that I do to overcome that, to try not to even go down that fucking depressive rabbit hole, is I look for the silver lining. I look for the silver lining. What did I learn? Is there a positive? Can I take away something positive from this? Is there an experience that I can learn, or is there any positive that you can take away? One of my favorite Dream Theater albums is has the word silver linings in it, and that really sparked my interest with that word, and then that just really became a mindset for me, a philosophy. So no matter what happens, no matter how hard life gets, and no matter how depressed I get, my path out of that is, what's the silver lining? What's the positive I can fucking cling to? Because if there is just one positive, that can be a beacon. I can cling to that beacon no matter how fucking dark the world has gotten in my mind. As long as there is a beacon of hope, I'm fucking good, and I will make my way towards that. And so there's always something to be grateful for. And I journal 3 things in the morning every day. Three things I'm grateful for. And at the end of the night before I go to bed, 3 things again. Preferably something different. 3 things I'm grateful for. There's a study done that if you write down 3 things that you are grateful for every day for 21 days, it improves your overall optimism and gratitude. And that shit holds for like 6 months. Writing down something you're grateful for 21 days makes a noticeable shift in your positivity and your overall mood for 6 months. What if you just did that every day and never stopped? If it's that powerful after just 21 days, why would we stop? That's what I'm doing. And I've noticed that when I do that, it's just that much easier to find that silver lining, to find that beacon of hope, and to cling to that. And as long as that exists, I can navigate towards that, and I can stay positive. I can stay in a healthy mindset, because I know no matter what brick wall I face, I'm gonna climb it, and I'm gonna get closer to that beacon, and everything's gonna be fucking all right. It doesn't matter. The universe and I are gonna fucking vibe together, and we're gonna fucking get that shit done. And ain't nothing gonna stop that. It's just nothing. As long as there's something to be grateful for, and as long as you practice gratitude in your life on a daily basis, you will go through it so much happier. I used to be such an asshole, such a negative. I used to be so fucking negative all the time. In my brain, I was always negative on myself and negative to the people around me, and I would be a dick to the people I interacted with because I was miserable. I was depressed and miserable, and I fucking just shat on other people because of it. And since practicing gratitude every fucking day and just really being grateful for things, because life could always be worse. It could always fucking be worse. And so being grateful for what I've had has really, really been a game changer in my life. Huge. And the third one, just follow your own path, right? This roadmap, it doesn't matter how I use this roadmap to get to where I get or how anybody else does. Every person uses their own every person has their own path, but these things can help make that path a little bit easier, but it has to be your own. You can't fucking take Elon Musk's path. He might be uber successful, but if you do that, you may be fucking uber miserable. That's not your path. It's not your life. You may not want to be a podcaster. There are so many paths to success, and you have to find yours. And that's the only path for you. It's the only way you're going to get there. Number 4, never stop learning or working on yourself. That's huge. We just talked about that. 5, live with integrity. Always do the right thing even when nobody is watching. When you live with integrity, you have nothing to hide, and you never have to worry about the negative consequences of your actions coming back to haunt you, because they just fucking don't exist. 6, you can change the way you feel at any moment by changing your focus. Any emotion, no matter how intense, can be changed by shifting your focus to gratitude and perspective. And perspective, especially, that is on my list of episodes for the podcast. So we'll go deep into perspective on that. Don't chase the money. Chase your purpose. When you follow a path of true purpose and passion, the money will follow. And I love that. And even though my goal in 5 years is to be a millionaire, and I'm choosing YouTube as my platform, I fully understand it's going to take probably 2 to 3 years to get to what I would like to, what to my real starting point where I've got an audience and maybe making something happen. That's 2 to 3 years of consistency and an improvement, and that's attempting to get 1% better with every upload. And that's really the goal, to get 1% better with every episode until I'm successful. But I understand that there's not going to be any money there for a long time. This is a long haul. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I understand that for the next 2 to 3 years, this has to be a passion. It has to be because I love it. And when you love something and you get good at it and you make it, you put your heart into it, it just inevitably success follows and the money will come with it. And I believe in that. But this isn't about the money. It never was. But I truly believe if I accomplish these goals, it'll be there. Number 8, there's no such thing as failure unless you fail to learn the lesson. We talked about that already. It's super awesome. Number 9, the end result will be worth the sacrifice. Unsuccessful people think about what they will have to give up in order to achieve what they want. Successful people think about what they are going to get at the end of the process and know it's worth the effort. This is huge. I remember when I was super lazy and at the worst point in my life, and this was for like many years, I was this fucking lazy. I knew that I could accomplish amazing things, but it was going to take a lot of fucking work. Like climbing that mountain was never going to end. I knew it was never going to end. And because I knew it was never going to end, it took me a long time to get started. Like I had to go through many years of just fucking being lazy. And lazy is not even a good word. It was a bad mental health thing where I just didn't care about myself. I didn't love myself, and I was willing to sleep in garbage. And I did that for many years and just didn't talk about it to anybody and internalized it. And it messed with my mental health for a long time. And that's probably a big part of why I was such a fucking asshole. But I knew I was going to have to sacrifice just my fucking laziness time. You know, my time to sit around and just watch Netflix for 24-hour binge watch things for a fucking week. Like I knew that I was gonna have to grow the fuck up, and I didn't want to. And that is my biggest regret, is just how fucking immature and irresponsible I was for many years, and that I had to go through so much fucking bullshit and put myself through so much bullshit before I was finally grateful and understood and just, I don't know, willing to fucking grow up, I guess. You know, it took a lot there. It took a long time for me to get to that point. But when I finally did, and I realized that the only way to be what I know I can be, so I can sleep at night knowing that I'm not letting myself down, knowing that I'm not letting my fucking mom down, knowing I'm not letting the people who love me down, my fucking dad, anybody, to know that I am truly living up to my potential. That's all of a sudden the things that I had to give up to accomplish that didn't matter anymore. They didn't fucking matter anymore, because I knew that the end result, when I get there, is going to be fucking worth it. You know, and there were a lot of goals that I accomplished along the way to get to this level, to get from the street to where I'm at now, was huge. And there were a lot of fucking yes moments. And then there was a few fucking years of like contentness and self-sabotage until I was like, enough is fucking enough. We're going further. We're getting fucking better. We're getting more successful. And now I'm at a point where I will never go back, ever. I will never fucking give up. And I will never fucking stop. It's not in me. I've completely rebuilt myself from the DNA up. And that is what I hope to inspire in other people. It sometimes takes years. It's a years-long metamorphosis. Do it at your own pace, you know, and don't feel bad about how long it takes you to get there, as long as you keep trying and keep moving forward. That's all that fucking matters. It might take you longer than me, and you might go fucking way faster than me. It took me a while to get moving forward. You know, just do it. That's it. Where are we at? 10. Patience is power. Keep going. As long as you are patient and consistent and learn from your lessons, you will succeed. It's only a matter of time. Patience is huge. And what I'm about to do here with building a YouTube channel and knowing it's going to take 2 to 3 years of consistent effort and improvement to even get to where I can start to really maybe profit from this. And that's the goal. I want to be able to do this for a living. I'm not going to hide behind that. Like, I want to quit my 9 to 5 and do this for a living, and also get my hands in other investments and really build some wealth here. That's the goal, to improve my life and inspire others to do the same. And so I understand there's going to be a lot of patience involved, and I'm fucking ready for it. I'm so fucking patient, especially when I know I'm going to win. Like, I can wait. I can fucking wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I hope you guys are going to have fun. I'm going to have so much fun. 11, nothing worthwhile in life comes easy. You must be willing to work hard. You got to fight for it and give up everything for it. If being successful was easy, everyone would do it. And you have to be willing to give everything for it. I genuinely believe in my goals, and I'm getting to a point where I'm not getting to it. I've already gotten to it. Like, I don't care. I am not embarrassed. I know what I have to offer, and I'm going to fucking run with it, and I'm going to do something with it. And each of us has something to offer. And it might not be a YouTube thing for you, but you've got something. You just have to figure it out. Trust me. And that's why reading is so important, and fucking exploring other interests and really getting out of your comfort zone to know who you are and to understand what you're capable of until you find something you're like, oh man, I like that a lot. Now, how do I get paid doing it? And it might not be obvious at first, but that is where the entrepreneurial spirit comes from. You start getting that creative mind, that outside of the box creativity, start looking at it from an outside perspective. Ask those questions. How can I approach this in a way that I can make money? I fucking just simply speaking, or not simply speaking, I love the fact that I posted a video earlier, a short video about getting a gym membership, canceling my YouTube or Netflix subscription that would cover the cost of my gym membership, and then my insurance company giving me a kickback if I go at least 12 times a month, which just happens to be $20. So at the end of the day, I'll be getting paid $20 to go to the gym, and I fucking love that. It's like an outside of the box solution, because I didn't want to pay to go to the gym. Like, I didn't want to spend more money when I am attempting to build wealth, not spend it. So I love that one. Shit, I brain farted. All right. So number 12, your past cannot stop you from creating a better future. So it doesn't matter what fucking happened yesterday. Doesn't matter what happened in your past. Doesn't matter what you have had done to you or what you've gone through, what other people think about you or what other people know about you. Your past does not define you. You can choose to break the chains of that shit and create something completely different. You can build something completely new. You're allowed to do that. Your past cannot stop you. 13, it's never too late. Like, it is never too late to get started. Colonel Sanders, one of my favorite examples. He failed at everything he did. He failed at fucking everything until he was successful with KFC, and that didn't happen until he was 64. And that motherfucker tried a lot of things. He was the literal textbook definition of doing what Thomas Edison said. He tried a lot of fucking things that didn't work until he found KFC at 64. At 64, it's never too late. It's never too late. 14, not everyone will be happy for you. You know, don't let the hater stop you. And that's a big one. Like, people in your immediate circle, it's going to be hard, but sometimes we have people close to us, and it's like their goal is to stop us from blossoming. They're afraid they're going to get left behind or something. That if we outgrow them, we'll just leave them or some shit like that. And many of us have people like that in our lives, and they will try to prevent you from growing, and you can't let them. You fucking can't let them. Because fuck that life, right? It's not theirs. It's yours. Outgrow that motherfucker. 15 is a big one. Habits make or break you. You are your habits. And again, I'm going to have a whole episode on habits and really how they we are an accumulation of our habits. 16, fear is an illusion. It's made in the mind. It's imaginary. You have no reason to hold yourself back. I can't tell you. Actually, I can tell you because I have told you in the past. I put off even getting back into the podcast for so long because of this exact same thing. Fear. and really fear of failure and fear of maybe not living up to what I had imagined I could be. I had really set some lofty goals for myself, and that was a big shoe to fill. And the fear of not being able to live up to my own expectations was huge, and it prevented me from doing anything creatively for a long time. And till I read Will Smith's book, and I'm not really going to talk about Will Smith. I don't give a fuck about that whole conversation right now. But in his book, there's one person in his life in particular who specifically said, no paralysis through analysis. And that really fucking hit me hard because I'm an overthinker. I'm an overthinker big time. And if I can't think my way through it, if I can't think my way to success and being able to overcome anything that life can throw at me, I won't move. I won't move forward. And so that no paralysis through analysis was huge for me. And when I hear something that is like a universal truth, that it is one of those things that just rings true, I take it and I fucking make it part of me. I fucking make it part of me to my core. And so no paralysis through analysis. When I find myself in a situation and I'm overthinking and I'm not stepping forward, I'm freezing, no paralysis through analysis. And it's like, fuck that, I move forward. Like, I have trained myself with certain phrases and shit like that, specific like that. And I do another thing where to battle my overthinking, I use a cognitive behavioral therapy tactic. And when I have intrusive thoughts, I will sound an alarm in my brain, literally, red alert. And what it is, I say intrusive thoughts. Every fucking time I have a negative thought that's not real, because I will make up scenarios in my brain, things that are completely imaginary, and I'll get worked up over them. I think a lot of people do that. And what many of us don't understand is when we get worked up like that, we're stressing ourselves out and we're releasing stress chemicals. Literally, our body thinks we're in an argument. And we're doing that in our brains, or our imagination is poisoning us with stress chemicals. And those stress chemicals are the leading cause of cancers and shit like that. It's not good for your health. And we're doing that to ourselves. And I, for one, if I'm going to be smart enough to realize that, I'm not going to be dumb enough to then ignore that. So I said, fuck that, and I'm going to combat it. And one of the things that I did to combat it is I dove deep into cognitive behavioral therapy, and I took out, useful things that really have helped me fight that overthinking, fight that obsessive need to imagine scenarios in an attempt to protect myself and be prepared for things that are never going to happen. And at the time, you think yourself into these things, and you think that you're somehow smart enough to imagine every scenario, see it like Doctor Strange or some shit. But at the end of the day, what that is, that's a mental health thing. Like, that's a bad thing, because you are stressing your system out and you are freaking yourself out and you're doing all these mental gymnastics. And have you ever, if you're one of these people who do this kind of thing, have you ever found yourself in confronting somebody after all of this, and they look at you like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? And in that moment, you realize, oh shit, I was fucking wrong. I was wrong. I did all of that, and I was wrong. And I stressed me. That's fucked, man. That you're doing that shit. People have heart disorders. It's not good to stress yourself out like that. So if you do that, if you find yourself doing that, you need to do something about it, please. Please. And I highly recommend learning about cognitive behavioral therapy. I've got some excellent book recommendations. I will put them in the description of the video. Do yourself a favor. Don't be your thoughts. Like, those intrusive thoughts, you don't have to let them fuck with you. And as soon as you fucking develop, and it takes daily effort, you're going to need to be a part of the self-discipline episode. So just watch that one when it comes out. It's going to take self-discipline. Every day you have to say, red alert, intrusive thoughts. And then after that, you have to replace it with something positive. And it takes effort. You have to work on that. But it helps. It helps a fucking lot. So please, Stop stressing yourself out for no reason. And you know who you are. All right, so where are we at? Fear is an illusion. All right, 17, have direction. You got to know where you're going. You got to know where you're going. And that's why we're trying to have a roadmap. We're trying to build a roadmap here, right? If you don't know where you're going or how to get there, you're obviously never going to make it. 18, no one will believe in you until you believe in yourself. Progress leads to belief. Growth leads to belief. You need to believe in yourself before anybody else ever will. And it is so obvious when somebody does not believe in themselves. It's so obvious. You have to believe in it in order to convince anybody else to. 19, you got to give your all. Nothing great in life comes to anyone that gives less than everything. You got to give your all. And I truly believe that. If it is what you honestly love, what you honestly believe in, what is a part of you at your core, you got to be willing to give everything for it, right? Everything. And that's honestly what I am doing here. And I hope to inspire others to do the same. Like, none of this shit comes naturally to me. It might seem that way, but it takes a lot for me to get in this seat and get on this camera and seem like I'm being natural. I do this exact same thing at work. Like, it does not come natural to me, but I have developed this ability to do so. And it gets easier and easier with time. And the more I believe in myself, the more confident I am in myself, the more natural it is, and the more easy it becomes, and the better it feels, and the more excited I get, and the more fun it is, and the more I want to do it, and the more I want to like show other people, like, hey, you don't fucking always have to feel that way. Like, let it out, you know? It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Like, all you have to do is believe in yourself. Believe to achieve. It might seem cliche, but it's true. It is fucking true. I have a philosophy, and I'm gonna go into this deep on an episode about visualization. But I've developed a visualization technique, and that goes hand in hand with a life philosophy. That if you can see it, you can believe it, and if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So I visualize it. I manifest it up here. I see myself accomplishing it, not just accomplishing it, but I see myself every step of the way. From fucking point A to B to C to D, every step on my way to getting the goal accomplished. I don't just visualize crossing the finish line. I visualize planning it out and fucking sourcing and getting other people involved and then making fucking adaptations and evolving and accomplishing goals and fucking then being successful. So I've seen every step of the way, and then I've got a map. It's like I've seen the matrix, I've seen the path ahead, and then you just take it. You just fucking take it. You figured it out. And now you're gonna have to be adaptable, because the best laid plans of mice and men, right? And if you don't know what that means, you're probably too young to even understand any of the shit I'm talking about on this podcast. But yeah, you gotta give everything. And I think that's it. I think I've covered everything I need to cover here. And it is getting late. I'm getting tired. I spent an hour and a half trying to fix audio issues here. And that's another part of why it took me so long to get back into this. It's just the fucking technical side of shit. I haven't owned a computer in a long time. A long time. I had to relearn this shit, and I don't know what happened. Eventually, I just had to completely uninstall OBS Studio, delete all of the scenes and data, and reinstall it, and all of a sudden that fixed the audio issues. But it was fuckered something fierce, and I was getting frustrated as shit, but I got it sorted. And here I am, and I fucking got the job done, got the podcast finished, got to do some editing and get it uploaded, and I can fucking go to bed feeling good and productive and ready for next week. And I'm fucking stoked. Yeah, that was a weird sound my fucking mouth just made, but I am thirsty, been talking a lot, and I want to go to bed. Actually, I'm not going to go to bed. I don't know. I'm probably going to spend the next 2 hours listening to this, if I'm being honest. All right, take it easy. I hope you have a wonderful day, because it is Wednesday morning, And I hope you fucking have a kick-ass day. I hope you fucking go out there and just rock it. Rock it at everything you do. When you get up, look yourself in the mirror, and I want you to do this for real, because it's not bullshit. You look yourself in the mirror and you say, you're a fucking rock star, because you are. Mean it. Act like you're saying it to your best friend or somebody you love with all of your heart. Fucking mean it. And then you go out into the day and you feel that shit and you fucking put it out into the universe and you impact other people's lives in a positive way. And you let the feeling that you got from this podcast ripple out and affect other people who didn't even see it. Like, that's a dream come true for me. If my positive impact can reach people that didn't even watch the podcast, like, that's fucking magic, right? Holy shit. I'm gonna fucking sign off on that feeling. All right. You guys have a great day. Fucking peace. I love you.